A 4-year-long legal battle in the trial court does show that against all odds, justice can prevail. And in a broken criminal justice system like ours, it does represent a moment where justice has prevailed against the odds. And the battle to get here has not been easy or straightforward. The defense counsel have attempted to rely on the mental state of Zahir to say that he was a mentally disordered person. But mental illness is to be medically established, and mental illness cannot be manufactured in an attempt to evade or avoid criminal liability. The Supreme Court of Pakistan has upheld Zahir Jaffer's death sentence for Noor's murder. As per reports, the conviction for rape has also been upheld. However, the sentence for rape has been changed to life imprisonment, and this represents a 4-year-long legal battle in the trial court, the High Court, and finally the Supreme Court. This case does show that against all odds, justice can prevail, and in a broken criminal justice system like ours, it does represent a moment where justice has prevailed against the odds. And the battle to get here has not been easy or straightforward. The defense counsel have attempted to rely on the mental state of Zahir to say that he was a mentally disordered person. But mental illness is to be medically established, and mental illness cannot be manufactured in an attempt to evade or avoid criminal liability. And this point was also raised in the trial court, and the trial court dismissed objections raised by the defense on Zahir's mental state, and these objections were dismissed in January of 2022. And if you look at the judgments of the trial court and the High Court, they both state that Zahir's mental condition as per the evidence appeared to be satisfactory, that there was no evidence produced to show that he had any prior mental health condition, there was no evidence produced to show that he was getting any kind of medical help for the alleged mental condition. And in fact, at the High Court stage, the High Court said that the defense lawyers did not even seriously press the plea regarding Zahir's mental state. So the courts did not accept the plea that had been raised by the defense counsel regarding the fact that he was a mentally disordered person, and in fact they stated that his mental health as per the evidence appeared to be satisfactory. And the defense also attempted to attack the evidence, and now as all 3 courts have upheld the conviction, it is beyond any reasonable doubt that he committed the murder. And objections were also raised on the CCTV footage, which had been verified, as the courts have held, by the Punjab Forensic Science Agency, and the courts have also made clear that they will not uphold overly technical objections on such evidence, and that the courts will rely on modern scientific technology and electronic evidence. And it is hoped that this decision gives victims as well as victims' families confidence in the justice system and helps to deter future crimes. However, the tragic reality in Pakistan is that most cases of domestic violence, most cases of intimate partner violence, and other forms of gender-based violence go unreported. And this is in large part because going through our legal process, going through our judicial process itself constitutes a re-victimization. And even if we look at Noor's case, there were reports that the defense counsel attempted to rely on the nature of the relationship between the perpetrator and the victim and to raise questions about morality. And in response, it was also reported that certain judges made insensitive remarks about the nature of the relationship between the perpetrator and the victim and to raise questions about morality, religion, and culture. This is regrettable because judges do not sit in courtrooms to judge a victim's morality. They do not sit in judgment over a victim's morality. And the sole duty of a judge is to judge the crime that is before them. And courtrooms must not become a place where a victim's morality, decision-making, and character is questioned. The victim is not on trial. And if the defense counsel crosses the boundaries of what is acceptable conduct, judges have a duty to intervene instead of participating in such conduct by making insensitive remarks. And while the verdict itself is important, the process of reaching the verdict is also equally important. important, and it does highlight two key things. The first thing is that there is a need for gender sensitization training within our judicial system. There must be greater gender sensitization training of trial court judges as well as superior court judges, especially because the majority of cases of gender-based violence are decided by male judges, and therefore this also reinforces the need for gender sensitization training. And secondly, for the need of more female judges within our judicial system, which will make the judicial system more fair, more representative, and ultimately more just. And while this verdict is a stepping stone and it does represent a significant moment, the process of reaching this verdict reveals that there is a lot more work to be done within our judicial system itself.